It may not be immediately apparent from my rather gimpy lighting setup, but Ravage is one of the best alt modes ever to be made. He is beautiful. It's just an absolutely stunning thing. And I think we should dwell on that, rather.
I want to talk about middle-aged men. You've got a bit of spare cash in the bank and you want to buy yourself fancy. Now, there are going to be a few problems with that, because your mum and dad said no.
Now, people seem to get hung up on the whole truck or monkey debate about Optimus Prime or Optimus Primal, Beast Wars or G1, that kind of thing. But what they didn't count on was a line making a car cat or cat car. So this guy has the best of both worlds. You may not like beast formers, but on the other hand, you get a particularly awesome sports car. Well, I guess it's a sports car. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, really. You get a particularly awesome Jaguar with really fancy chrome rims, really nice detail in the lights. I'll show you up in a close-up on the back, because the stuff they did there is just fantastic. Of course, despite all the features like the opening doors and the fully detailed interior, there's always going to be a problem, isn't there? Always has to be. Hasbro just can't get it right all the time. And with this guy, it's a bit like Mirage, that the hood along the edges here, it doesn't quite fit together. It just spoils the line of the car. And you kind of have to live with it, because I believe it's a moulding problem, and there is bollocks all you're going to be able to do. Sorry. So, you know, even if you don't like the Beast mode, this really should be enough to tempt you. Now, the Beast mode itself, that is something wonderful. Okay, I'm taking my chance, and this is my stab at fame. Have I discovered the first ever mammalian Gerwalk mode? Or possibly Perwalk mode? Oh god, it's rubbish. Anyway, enough of that enthusing. I've now got to bring out the criticism stick and beat this thing to a pulp. Things I don't like. There's the wobbly belly. Doesn't lock anywhere. Kind of silly. There's the fact that the torso generally, with this gap in the front. There are some quite noticeable kibble issues, and although they do their best to kind of give it a shape and have muscle up the shoulders and hide the wheels with the door panels, which all works really nicely. I especially like the way they did the sort of cat leg shape on the back there, which is just fantastic. It doesn't hold together so well. Certain angles, the shoulders from the front look really narrow. What can I say? I mean, he's good, he's not perfect. It depends how much you can basically suspend your kind of distaste for stuff like the blatant blocks of car that are shifting around on there. Personally, I can handle that. I think he has enough going on around the sort of car junk and inside the car junk that he gets away with it. The articulation's good. In fact, it's excellent considering what he is. He's a nice size, and just the general lines of it evokes what he's supposed to be. It looks agile and vicious and mean, but it does look quite G1. Let's face it, this thing would rip your throat out. He has faults. They're obvious faults. They're really easy to see, but they're also, for me, very easy to see past. The toy itself is great. The car mode is perfect. The alt mode is very striking. It's not like anything else I've seen. Personal problems with it, though, maybe the chrome's really badly applied on these booster rockets. On mine, it's kind of all speckly and rubbish. It could just be mine. It could be a general Hasbro being cheap ass. I don't know. It's not on the wheels. It's only on those jets. not really anything I can criticise it for without knowing whether it's a widespread problem or not, and it's certainly not a problem of design. Really, I mean, what did you expect I was going to say about a rocket-powered Panther that turns into a car? And not just any car, but a really sleek, muscular car that really does fit the mould. It evokes the cat-like nature, the panther-like nature, perfectly. I mean, I know it's kind of a corny joke and everything, and I know that was, a bit of a sort of tee-hee by the designers, but they got it so right. And by extension, the Alternators line generally got it right as well. Grimlock was a big, hefty, beefy muscle car, and Prowl was a kind of boring and serviceable but believable cop car. It was a great line, apart from the exception of things like Optimus Prime, who... I've got one, he's kind of indefensibly rubbish, I'm afraid. But they got it right so much, and once I'm back in work, and once I'm earning again, I am going to buy basically everything, I think, in the Alternators line, because they're just so good. So the question really comes down to, do you like cats? Do you like fast cars? If you like both, well, that's why you're on the internet. If you don't like them, then get off the internet. What are you doing here? Oh, that's right, porn.